guest this week is Corey Schott, and he's the president and owner of Dehart Alarm Systems. Dehart is a family-owned company that's been around since 1967, right, Corey?
Yes.
Dehart Alarm Systems is our preferred service provider at Always Home, and I thought it would be interesting to maybe spend a little bit of time talking about crime statistics in Manatee and Sarasota counties, and then kind of move on into alarm systems. So, Corey, you've obviously had a lot of experience in this marketplace. What are the things you're most concerned about, or do you see more prevalent in these marketplaces?
Well, primarily the crimes are petty crimes in residential, small commercial businesses.
So it would be primarily property crimes? Would that be the majority of them?
Yes. Okay. And generally they're breaking in looking for objects like televisions, computers, personal items, jewelry. Burglar, generally the first place they head is to the master bedroom.
When we travel around, I see a lot of Dehart signs out on the lawn. Is that a deterrent to burglars?
Absolutely. Just the sign alone will cause a burglar to think twice. And why would you go to a house that has a security system when there are dozens more in the same area that have no security system?
So they're going to go to the point of least resistance.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay. Well, why don't you take a few minutes and kind of explain what is a security system? What are the basic components that you deal with to secure a home? That stuff.
Well, Brian, actually the majority of the security systems now are wireless. The control unit, which is a panel and keypad on some of our latest systems, actually is generally mounted at the front door or somewhere at a common entrance, sometimes by the garage door if people tend to come in and out that way. That's where you control the security system from. And then it would consist of motion detectors, contacts on doors and windows. There are other optional items such as electric eyes or beams that can be used to detect for patios, porches, areas like that, to detect an intruder coming in from the back before they get to the house. Also, we can use security screens, which are wired screens. We actually replace the screen in the window with a screen material that has wire woven through the fabric. And if an intruder were to cut the glass or break the glass and then try to gain entry, or if the window was open already for ventilation, it would then activate the system as soon as they cut that or try to remove the window screen. That allows people to open the windows up when we have those few times during the year when the weather's nice, and a lot of people down here like to open the windows in the spring and in the fall. And it still allows you to have the security system operational just as if the window was closed.
Now, I know you have motion detectors that you can detect motion in a room that's kind of broad banded. What happens if you have pets or something running around your room? Is it going to activate the alarm system?
We actually have pet immune motion detectors that are available now that are generally based upon the weight of an animal. There are different levels where it will exclude an animal if it's under a certain weight. Say there's 50 pounds or 90 pounds, and there's some that are even more that are over 100 pounds if they have larger animals. We generally try to recommend that most people keep the animals out of the area if possible and the security system is armed, but if it's not possible, the pet immune motion detectors are a good alternative.
Working with Dehart, I know that your monitoring center is here in Sarasota, and we find that to be a huge advantage. Do you see that also as an advantage, being here locally?
Yes, absolutely. The advantage is that we have a local knowledge of the area. Also, you're supporting people that live here. Our employees obviously live here, so we don't subcontract out any work from the installation service to the monitoring. Everything's locally here, so you're supporting the local economy. And our employees, of course, are all familiar with the area, so it makes it much easier to communicate with the authorities, and we have a working relationship with the authorities in the area.
Now, you're also UL approved, correct?
Yes,
that's
Underwriters Laboratory approved, which means that we're inspected annually by Underwriters Laboratory. They actually send an inspector from their facility in North Carolina annually to confirm that we're compliant with our backup generator and battery requirements, as well as our fire suppression systems and smoke detectors, and that we're complying with their requirements for staffing also.
So if the power goes down at your central monitoring center, you have backup generators that get you back up again so that you can still function.
That's correct.
Oh, that's pretty cool. One of the things, I've been attending the Sarasota County Law Enforcement Academy, and what I've learned is the old days when we just had a landline and you could call 911 and the emergency response center would know where you were calling from and your address. Today we're migrating to cell phones and radio phones and VoIP and everything else. Well, how's that impacting you? Because clearly everybody doesn't have a landline anymore. Is that a problem in putting in a security system?
Absolutely. The new systems that we're installing now, about 90% of them don't even connect to the telephone line anymore. They're using the cellular network or a two-way radio system that we have in place to transmit the signal to our central station. The other advantage of the two-way system with cellular is that it also allows some advanced features for the homeowner or business owner to control the system remotely through applications that are used on iPhones or Android devices.
For one of our biggest problems we encounter is water leaks. Do you have a detection system that would give you a warning that there's a water leak in the home?
Yes, we do have flood detectors that can be installed, and we have installed them in some homes where we actually have sensors located at every source where there could be a water leak, like in every bathroom, laundry rooms. Water heaters are probably one of the biggest problems that cause water leaks. Some of the older homes that have copper pipe in it can be a problem with slow leakage, and having those detectors spread around the house can alert much sooner. There are also devices available that can actually detect the water and shut it off. If they detect water, they will actually shut off the water to the house immediately upon sensing that, as well as alert us, and then we can alert someone like yourself or the homeowner.
I know you do home automation, which is very popular right now, and entertainment systems and tying all these things together. Is that part of what you do?
Yes, the new security systems have the capability to add home automation features into them. It used to be that people would have to buy a very expensive home automation system that was totally separate from anything else. Our systems now have some automation features where we can control thermostats, lights, locks, and cameras through the security system locally as well as remotely through your smartphone. This allows you to use the system when you exit your home, for instance. You can arm it in what we call away mode, and that will set your thermostat back to a predetermined temperature so that it saves energy. It can also be used to control lighting, either remotely or through the away mode even. You can actually have the system turn lights off when you leave. It also allows you to control locks remotely. We have wireless locks that actually will unlock from your smartphone. So if you have somebody that comes to the home to do service, or a relative that's coming over, or even your children or whatever, and you want to keep control over that system, you can use your smartphone to access the system, disarm it, unlock a door, let them in, and so on.
Just spend a minute on talking about cost. I mean, all this capability sounds really expensive, but I do know that you have some great introductory packages.
Right. Well, our systems start as low as $1 a day or less, and the installations can vary depending upon what features that the customer wants installed. We even have home automation features that can be installed with the systems now. Thermostat control, remote lock control, lighting control can be added to it. The cameras, as I mentioned earlier, as well as the basic security system, and all these features are an additional installation or monthly cost, but it can be tailored, kind of like cellular phones. If you don't need texting, you don't pay for it. If you want texting, you're going to pay more. If you want broadband, it's going to cost you a little more.
Well, I think you can start to understand why we've partnered with Dehart Alarm Systems as a component of our security system. We believe strongly that the best types of security is really a layered security system that requires partners to do that. Clearly, Dehart is an important component of that security system. Our key holder service, which allows us to respond because most of our clients are not home. They're living in other cities and they need a first responder to go to the residence and, if necessary, let emergency personnel into the house. And then finally our home watch service, and hopefully that's a preventative program. Everything from making sure there are newspapers out in your driveway to making sure that foliage is cut away from your house, but taking all those precautionary measures to ensure that your house doesn't look like a target. So Corey, I want to thank you for today, and I'm sure that our clients are going to find this very informative.
Thank
So
you,
until
Brian.
next time.